Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Navigator Insider, featuring valuable information from Golf Life Navigators, your ultimate resource to discover, experience, and ultimately secure your ideal golf lifestyle. My name is Kelly Elbin. I'm with Golf Life Navigators, joined today by PGA professional Jason Becker, co-founder and CEO of Golf Life Navigators. Jason, you're a busy man. Thanks for taking a few minutes of your time to join us.
Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it.
For anyone who has filled out a Pro Guide 3 questionnaire that you can find on golflifenavigators.com and is then given up to 6 best match clubs, when they get to the point where they're communicating with a membership director at a club or a general manager, you've developed what you see as 5 key questions that you should ask any club official. Why don't you go ahead and go through those, please?
There's really 5 main things that you want to get on the table when you're in front of a membership director or a club official that we really try to educate our consumers that are utilizing our services, because once you get those answers, you're going to leave there feeling very confident that you have a really good grasp on the club as a whole. The first one is you should always ask is, what's the membership capacity and resignation list functions? You want to know how many members are they before max, before they reach cap, and then what's the process after that? Is there going to be a waiting list? What does that waiting list look like for the other members? More importantly, is there a vision of an increase in initiation going to occur because you're reaching cap? Some very, very key things. And moreover, as we talked about in a previous episode about the resignation list function, is you always want to know what your exit strategy is, right? So you want to know, okay, we have to move back home because we have to take care of mom. Then how can we exit the club, and what's the financial implications of that? So that right out of the gate is a really good start.
As we've discussed, this is a significant investment for people who've worked hard their whole life, and you want to make sure that they make the right decision. And I would imagine on the other end, for the membership director or for a general manager, the good ones, and there are lots of them out there, they've got those answers. They know these questions are going to be asked, and in fact, they may even tell you this information before you even ask them.
Yeah, they're always going to be prepared to answer those questions. A savvy buyer that's coming, to the marketplace should ask those questions. So they're more than willing to share. That's for sure.
Jason, thanks. Now, the second question that any avid golfer should be asking a membership director at a club.
I think you want to really have a good understanding of the capital reserves that the club has, or the potential assessments that occurred prior. You can get a really good understanding of the financial longevity of a club, the amount of money that they have set aside in reserve, because at any given point, there's going to be capital improvements to the club, and whether if the club has those funds to allocate toward those is great. However, if they don't, then that could be an assessment to the current membership. So you always want to get a clear understanding of where the club is in terms of capital improvements and what's going to happen in the future. That way there's no surprises. The other big thing, I think, Kelly, is golf operations. Most, if not all, of the people that utilize Golf Life Navigators are golf enthusiasts. And the more that you can get and have an understanding of the day-to-day golf ops, the better, in terms of, is there group play? Is there a single-digit group pickup game on Saturday morning? Is there a ladies' invitational? How big is the club championship? Can you just show me a tee sheet, what it looks like around this club during March? Very, very key indicators of how the club functions from a golf standpoint, because that, again, is going to be really important for you and what's going to keep you happy for that club. The fourth thing is non-resident memberships. I think that's important because a lot of consumers don't necessarily know if they want to live in a club or not. And so if you can determine what the process is to be a non-resident member, should you want to live on the water, maybe drive into the club, that's key, because there's a lot of clubs that just simply don't allow non-resident memberships. The Pro Guide will filter that for you. However, when you're in front of that club, it's always good to bring up and talk through, because a lot of clubs are changing policy and or making it much more attractive for non-resident memberships. So if that's something that's important to you on either end of the spectrum, it's certainly good to talk about with the membership director when you're in front of them.
close your fifth one, demographics of a particular club.
Age and demographics are huge. So if you're a 58-year-old consumer that's coming to the club, and you probably have a little hesitation if there's going to be an average age of 75. Big cultural differences there. So the best question to ask any membership director is not necessarily what your average age of the member is currently, but tell me about the average age of the members the last 2 years, because then you can get a good sign of trends. If, okay, the average age the last 2 years has been 60 years old, then you know you're coming in with a group or a wave of younger members. If that average age has been 69 or 70, then you might want to rethink, if that's not something that's going to appease you or to be a part of that type of demographic, then you got to know that right out of the gate. And the other thing is just asking, where do typically your members coming from? Are they primarily Midwestern? Are they Canadian? Are they from the Northeast? The more information you can get about the culture of people that you could be possibly investing into, the better. So you know that you're making a really, really comfortable decision.
Jason Becker, thank you very much for joining us and going over these 5 important questions golfers should be asking of a membership director for this most important decision in their lives. This is Kelly Elvin with Golf Life Navigators. Thanks for joining us again. Check out our other podcasts. And please go to golflifenavigators.com to complete our Pro Guide 3 questionnaire. It's free. It'll take you about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll see you down the road.